All right, guys. Our second bit of movie news today. Well, it comes to us from Variety, and this isn't the best news I've ever heard. It's not the worst news, but it's also not entirely positive. It would appear that Netflix has decided to raise their prices. You know, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. Netflix is one of the streamers that is doing extremely well right now. You know, Netflix, Amazon Prime, they're killing it. Apple TV Plus, they've got incredible content. CBS All Access, which I think they just renamed or rebranded themselves to Paramount Plus. Something like that. It's going to take effect soon. HBO Max is killing it. We have all these streaming services, Disney Plus, like they're all killing it right now. Disney Plus, meh, I wouldn't exactly say they're killing it. Mandalorian season 2 just dropped, and so yay. But whatever. We're in the middle of a global pandemic. Everybody's doing pretty well for themselves from a streaming perspective. But Netflix has now decided to take their most popular subscription plan and up it by a few bucks. I think it was $3. They've raised it now $3 to $14 a month. Is that something that's going to break the bank? No. I mean, if you can afford $11 for a streaming service, chances are very likely you can now afford $14 for a streaming service. But now from Netflix's point of view, things are starting to go up. This is the first price increase that we've seen in 2 years. In 2 years for this particular plan. I mean, is Netflix getting a little greedy? I mean, the reason that they said that, like for the price hike, is so that they can continue bringing high quality shows on the same level that we've all come to expect and know and love at the same level, and you know, regular content as well. Or is this just Netflix saying, you know what, we're going to take advantage of this terrible situation? What do you think?
That's a good question. I honestly don't know because I think there's a lot of factors at play here. I think Netflix is, like you said, it's this giant company that is doing very well. So it's kind of the idea of, do we expand and continue to grow, or do we kind of stay at where we are right now? I think they're producing a lot of original content, which obviously costs money. I don't know how much of that original content is being produced at the moment, considering the pandemic. Um, it would make sense that in order to producing more, would need more and more capital to do so. I don't know how much sort of like movie studios they do with loans and things like that, and then pay that back. Um, but Netflix has really produced a lot of stuff, so I don't think I don't know, a few dollars can be. I mean, it adds up to about $36 to $40 a year per subscription if it's $3 per month. So that's an extra $40 out of your pocket per year that you weren't already taken out. And during a pandemic, again, every dollar can count. So hopefully, I feel like sort of putting their money where their mouth is and really putting out a lot of new content might make that price hike a little easier to swallow. Like maybe getting a really couple some more hot properties that people really love, and doing some, I don't know, either, hate saying reboots, but doing some things that people are like, oh yeah, I definitely want to check this out, like how CBS All Access had Twilight Zone.
So, something
um
that's maybe a little bit more of like a guaranteed, like comic book movies and things, like, you know, those are going to make money. So, or like sequels, you know that you can expect a certain amount, like a price range. Well, may not hit this, but we may definitely hit in this range.
and I think I'm amazed that they canceled the Dark Crystal. I think,
Oh
like,
man.
just
Yeah.
from that was good, and like, what a no-brainer to keep that thing. And like, it's, you could be socially distant when filming it because they're puppets, I mean, I don't know how that the machinations of that work, but I feel
Well,
like
you know,
that.
being that they are puppets, you could potentially, like, everybody keeps their masks on. Everybody, you know, voices their lines as they move their hands, but then do ADR for it, because ADR doesn't need to be perfectly matched up. That's the kind of property. Same thing with animation. You can do ADR for it, no problem. Keep, whether you're socially distant or not, everybody can keep their masks on and just muffle the sound as you're recording.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it would seem that if they are going to take some properties, like, that's a great one to sort of like, as an example of like, here's a hot property people know, here's something that's really cool that we can do, that's original, that's uniquely us. Here's something that like people love. It's Jim Henson.
Well,
I
Glow was
mean,
another one that got canceled too. You want a
yeah.
property to keep people around. The reason that they said that they canceled Glow was because it was too expensive. You have too many main characters, and they're all on set at the same time. So with all of the new COVID and coronavirus protocols that you have to go through, you have to go through quarantine, you have to get tested, you have to get your temperature taken every single day, possibly multiple times a day. I don't know how that works. I haven't been on set of a production like that before, but that was the reasoning that they gave, was that it's too expensive to continue making, and they were only going to do one more season. They just wanted one more season, and it got canceled. And now here we come to find out, oh, well, because this is not news that just came out of nowhere. Netflix yesterday did not say, you know what, let's go ahead and do a price hike. They didn't decide this yesterday. They knew this was coming. They announced it today, but they did not figure this out yesterday. So they knew it was coming. So with shows like Glow, or even, that were recently canceled, and Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal prequel show that everybody universally loved. Everybody loved The Dark Crystal. Everybody loves Glow. Not to mention any of other, high-profile shows or things that have been canceled. Why are they canceling if they're gonna eventually make more money? Like, they're gonna get their money back. And this is not the climate. You can't blame it on the climate, because the climate is helping your business model right now.
I feel like you're absolutely right, and I think producing brand new content would seem to be a little bit more difficult, because you have to assemble the cast, you have to create the show, you have to sort of come in with new production design, you have to do all this sort of thing. Whereas Glow is a sort of certified, sort of like Netflix property that people love, that kind of another universally loved sort of property that all they ask for is another season. And this price hike is a perfect example of how they could justify giving them another season, giving people what they want. And it's amazing to me, like, why as a company you want things that are associated with your brand, right? Like, you like, oh, Netflix has got this show that nobody else has, and Glow's definitely one of those shows. So maybe they'll surprise us and say, hey, now that we've had a price hike, like, we are going to produce that. But you know what? That's what it's for. If it's a good show. Now, I don't know the numbers. We don't know the exact viewership numbers per se of what people are watching and what they aren't. But certainly, I mean, Ratched, for one thing, Ryan Murphy's show.
Yeah.
Well, Schitt's Creek now is, I believe, #1 streaming in the world right now. And am I correct? That's on Netflix.
Well, it's a Canadian show, so it was on the Pop Network. But yes, Netflix has acquired it, and you are correct. It is the #1 streamed show in the world right now.
So, like, I feel like Netflix has this great opportunity to sort of, like, okay, like, these are our properties, like Ratched, again, produced by Netflix, Ryan Murphy. I don't see what the big deal is. So they are producing some unique content, but give people what they want. Give them the shows they want now. If you're going to charge them a little bit more, then keep the shows around that people like. That's my only thought on that, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Question is for you guys, what do you think? Are you okay with like a $3 price hike going from 11 to 14? Are you okay paying $14 for your subscription service? Are you a little upset that Netflix didn't give you a little bit more heads up? Are you upset that they're doing this at all? Do you think that this is necessary, especially in the wake of them canceling shows like Glow or The Dark Crystal? How do you feel about this? Or do you feel that they're completely justified? Are you okay with contributing a little bit more to helping, if these COVID protocols on set cost as much as, we're being told that they do, are you okay paying just a little bit more to help cover some of these costs and keep the same quality of shows that we've come to know and love? I would love to hear your thoughts. Jump down to the comment section below. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Scrooge McDuck would want you to do. DuckTales, woo!